I'd like to call to order the September 28 meeting of the Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Here. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Approval of the minutes of September 21st. Did anybody get a chance to review those?
Motion to defer.
Second.
Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item A, we have a bid opening for 6th District Local Street Project, Illinois and Idaho Avenue lighting improvements from 169th to 165th. Looks like we have 2 bids. The first bid is from Midwestern Electric Incorporated, 1620 East Chicago Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And their bid is $450,482.56. The next bid is from Hawk Enterprises Incorporated, 1850 East North Street, Crown Point, Indiana. They have their Form 96. They have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And they have their bid bond. And their bid is $418,855.44. That concludes the bids on Item A, the 6th District project. Do we have a motion to refer these to the engineering department and project engineer for tabulation or recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item B, bid opening on Columbia Park Trail. It looks like we have 4 bids. The first bid is from Reith Riley Construction Company Incorporated, 7500 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And their bid is $457,765. Next bid is from Dyer Construction Company Incorporated, 1716 Sheffield Avenue, Dyer, Indiana. try it on this end. It's got strapping tape on that end. This thing's not very sharp. There we go. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And their bid is $461,015.07. The next bid is from Walsh and Kelly Incorporated, 1700 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And their bid is $394,091.55. And the final bid is from Gary Up Construction Company Incorporated, 3965 Harrison Street, Gary, Indiana. What's it, stapled inside? They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And their bid is $497,000 even. That concludes the bid openings on the Columbia Park Trail. Do I have a motion to refer these to engineering and the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Those against, motion passes. Item C, request for advertising dates of October 5th, October 12th, with a bid opening date of October 26th for Lindbergh Avenue lighting, 173rd to 169th.
Motion to approve the advertising dates.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. We already did that one. Next, we have item D, change order number 4 and 6 received from American Structure Point for Chicago Avenue Street Widening Project and Reconstruction Phase 3. Item change order 4 has an increase of $65,425. And change order number 6 doesn't change the cost of the project. It requires the contractor to submit his payrolls electronically. So it looks like the cost associated with change order 4 deal with some water changes out in the field. Do I have a motion approving the change order 4 and 6 for Chicago Street?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did you want to make a comment, Dean? Okay, I didn't look up and see you there until you start walking away. Okay. Item E, indemnification agreement between the Board of Works and Safety on behalf of the City of Hammond and the general contractor submitted for approval. This is a new form we're going to be adding to our bid packages.
That is correct.
Right.
It's normally understood and accepted practice that the contractor indemnifies the city for any wrongdoing that they have, or liability or negligence that they have done at the construction site. However, we recently had a situation where a contractor did not secure a location, a person fell into a hole, was injured, and then the contractor basically looked to the city and said, well, pay him some money. So I want to make sure that going forward, it's very clear that if they're going to be doing business in the city of Hammond and they're going to leave a site open where somebody can fall into it, the city is not going to be on the hook for their negligence. And any contractor who doesn't want to sign that doesn't have to do business with the city of Hammond.
Okay.
Motion to approve the agreement?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item F, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Warple requesting $75,000 of gaming funds be allocated to the 2017 overlay program for 173rd Street, Chestnut to Columbia.
Motion to approve the councilman's request?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item G, correspondence received from Councilman Mark Kalwinski requesting $1,682.59 of gaming funds be allocated to finalize the 2017 sidewalk repair program.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against, motion passes. Item H, correspondence received from Councilman Bill Emerson Sr. requesting $75,000 of gaming funds be allocated to the 2017 overlay program for 173rd Street, Chestnut to Columbia.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Just to clarify, this is a roadway that, as you know, is between the two districts. So you've approved two separate projects for the same amount because they're each paving one half of the street.
Okay. Item I, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Hammond authorizing the disposal of surplus property under Indiana law to the Hammond Board of Park Commissioners for dedication as a city park.
If you will recall back 2007, the city of Hammond acquired a parcel of property we had jokingly at the time called Chico Park because Councilman Hinojosa was instrumental in obtaining that property with his gaming funds. It never actually was a park and it was never dedicated as a park. However, now we're going to transfer it to the park department so it can be formally dedicated as a park.
That's a property that was excess right away from the Klein
Correct.
Avenue,
Correct.
Boardman
INDOT had
interchange?
owned it, INDOT abandoned it. Some people who lived there were basically claiming squatters' rights on the entire parcel. Once INDOT abandoned it, it reverted back to the previous owner, which was a corporation which had been dissolved. But then they sold it to the city of Hammond, and we've had it since 2007. We haven't really done anything, but now the Parks Department wishes to dedicate it as a park. And in order to accomplish that, there has to be mutual mirror resolutions, and that is ours, and they will do theirs, I think, next week, Wednesday they meet. I'm not 100%, but I know it's next week.
Okay.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to recognize Councilman Pete Torres in the audience there. He was hiding behind a podium, so I didn't see him right away. Item J, notice of violation hearing 1204 Lakeview Avenue.
Good morning. I'm Gary Matthews. I represent the property owner, Mrs. Milosevic. 1204 Lakeview, by agreement with this board back in 2015, was to be a 3-unit apartment building. And Ms. Milosevic, for personal reasons, added a 4th unit without approval. We've met several times, inspected the property, have hopefully an agreement to return it to a 3-unit. Timing is the problem for my client to do that. So we have agreed to continue everything until the last week or two in March of 2018. So that's what the request is today, that the board reschedule this matter for hearing or status hearing. And by my 2018 calendar, the last 2 Thursdays are March 22nd or March 29th of 2018.
For the 22nd, I think I'll be gone on the 29th.
Is there any issues with this, or did you, is there any reason to do it sooner?
She needs time to make the adjustments when it actually removes the wall.
Okay.
She's going to keep it remain vacant while work is being done and remove the bathroom and such. Dream Mattress has agreed to periodically step by, keep an eye on it for us. Make sure that things like it doesn't convert back.
Make a motion to set for status on March 22nd, 2018.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Those
Thank
against,
you.
motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item K, correspondence received from Midway General Construction Incorporated requesting permission to keep a portion of the foundation wall intact during the demolition of 6129 through 6131 Calumet. That's to save the sidewalk, right? So that'll be left in there, and whoever builds in the future might have to take it out or might not, depending on where they build. Okay.
So it's going to stay?
Just the foundation below grade,
Right.
that's the portion that's underneath the sidewalk.
Okay.
We're ready to remove it, it's going to be shipped.
Got it.
We need to take action on this?
We need a motion, yeah, approving it.
All right, motion to approve the request.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item L, approval of a vigil 5K race and parade received from the Hammond Police Department and disposal authorization submitted for approval.
Sheffield
Yeah.
Street, having a vigil, probably waiting for the race. Yeah.
That is
Next
September.
week.
Oh, last weekend.
Yes. That's why you're
Yeah.
asking, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So we still need to approve it.
Motion to approve the police department's requests.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item M, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing.
Okay. Motion is set for hearing on October 26th.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item N, garage sale permits submitted for approval.
I'm good.
Motion to approve the garage sale permits.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item 6, matters from other board members. I've got two items. One is a request from Councilman Higgs. This is for requesting funding for construction material testing on Erie Street between Carroll and Eaton. It's for $4,950.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. The other item is probably the agreement for the previous item. ATC testing?
Yes.
Yeah. So that should be that dollar amount, or was it already partially paid, or? Okay, we have an agreement with ATC testing for the testing on Erie between Carroll and Eaton.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Okay, item 7 is matters from other department heads or their representatives. Yes,
President, members of the board. I've been corresponding with British Petroleum, BP, over a heavy load, actually 2 heavy loads that'll be coming through the city on their way to the refinery. We expect that load to come through either October 8th or 9th. I will have a formal written letter of request to this board next week, but I wanted to advise you of that. The route would be Indianapolis Boulevard, Indiana 152 to 169th Street to Kennedy North into East Chicago. We have reviewed the route with the water department, and they have made some certain recommendations relative to preventing any traffic going concurrently with that. So I was going to coordinate with PD and EMA on that route. So I just,
you know how heavy these loads are?
one's nearly 300,000 pounds, and it's 160 feet long, and the other one's about 150,000 pounds.
And they have the adequate number of axles to spread the load?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you'll see a request from me next week. I'm bringing up to now because we're not entirely sure when this action will take place. It's got to come up from Houston, and so it's quite a long way to get here, but
Okay.
it's about the 8th or 9th.
So we don't need to take any action
No
now?
action today, sir.
Okay. Any other matters from other department heads or their representatives? Any new business? Any old business? Meeting's open to the public. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to step up to the microphone? Councilman Torres.
Yes, Mr. President, board members. Got a complaint of speeding traffic on Michigan Street between 800 and 1500, and see if a double stop sign on Maywood in Michigan, east and west, see if that'll help, and also a double stop sign on Howard in Michigan. I haven't looked to see if other signage, other signs are needed, like school zone or things of that nature. You got Columbia School there. So, and they're also, residents are complaining of additional truck traffic, but with the building going on around that area, I can see why.
So are there stop signs currently at Maywood and Howard?
Yes, there are. There's
Okay.
one, maybe if you double it, like it done in other intersections, see if that'll help. They've also asked for additional police patrols. Police, I have seen them on Howard and Michigan quite a bit, and also and on Maywood in Michigan, and it stops while they're there, but then when they leave, it continues again.
Yeah, we have, the police department has that portable sign that tells you what your speed is. If you've seen those in a lot of areas, and maybe we can get them to set that up there for a while so that people, because sometimes people don't realize how fast they're going.
Right.
And you put that there, then they kind of know that the police are kind of watching this area.
In fact, that was recommended by the residents also, that they put one of those signs up, and or maybe a couple of them, one at the beginning of the 800 block and one at the end.
More than one, or just? I think they only have one right now. But you know what I'd like to recommend, that this be referred to our traffic captain and to Gary Gleason, and let them take a look at the situation. We'll tell them what you're requesting, and maybe they have some other ideas. They can try some other stuff too.
Okay, appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You have something else?
Yes, another, again, the railroad on CRX at 4500 block Sheffield, that was never improved or during the summer, and we'd like to see if that's on their agenda somewhere. That crossing is still very bad.
Well, they did Homan. Do they have Sheffield scheduled?
Next week, for 2-week closure.
Okay.
Sheffield is repaired.
Okay,
Starting
okay.
October 2nd for 2 weeks.
Okay, so that was June and then, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Councilman. Anybody else in the audience who'd like to step up to the microphone?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.